Hey lovelies, I'm here to show you how I made my gusset for my crochet granny square pants. So we're going to start off with making a magic circle. Once we make our magic circle, we're going to chain up 3. So the magic circle will have multiple names like magic ring or magic loop. Now we're going to chain up 3 and we're going to do that by yarning over and pulling through the loop, and we're going to do that 2 more times. Once we do that, we're going to work 3 double crochets into the magic circle by yarning over, popping it in a circle, pulling up your yarn, pull it through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now work 2 more double crochets into the magic circle. It's now time to chain 2 for a corner, and we're going to work 4 more double crochets into the magic circle. We can now tighten our yarn by pulling that string until it's nice and tight and closed, and we could chain 1, cut our yarn, pull the yarn through to fasten off. It's now time to change your yarn to whatever desired color you want, and we're going to work our yarn into that chain 3 stitch, the top of that chain 3 stitch, and we're going to chain 3. So we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to work in between that chain 3 and that double crochet, right in between that space, working in between the space. You see that space? We're going to work in between there, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into that space. Now that that's complete, we're going to work 3 double crochets into this chain 2 space, which is your corner. We're going to do 3 double crochets as we're doing now, a chain 2, and then another 3 double crochets into that corner space. So I'm going to talk you through it again once we get up to that point. Now we're going to do a chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to do 3 double crochets back into that chain 2 space, that corner space. We're not leaving that corner space yet. Now we're leaving the corner space, and we're going to work 3 double crochets in between our chain 3, like on the other side. Go right into that space between our chain up of 3 and our double crochet cluster. Now on top of that double crochet, we're going to go right on the top of that and work a double crochet in there, and then we're going to do a chain 1, cut our yarn, pull through because we're fastening off, and we're getting ready for our next color. Same process, we're going to work that new color into our chain 3, like our chain up of 3, and we're going to chain 3. We're going to chain up 3. So go ahead, start your chain of 1, 2, and 3. We're going to yarn over to do 1 double crochet right into that space between our chain 3 and our double crochet. And once we do 1 double crochet, we're going to do 2 half double crochets into that same spot. So yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through all 3. You're going to do that one more time. Now we're going to do 3 half double crochets into that space between our cluster of double crochets. So right in that space, we're going to do 3 half double crochets. We're now going to do our corner. So we're going to work 3 double crochets into that corner piece, that chain 2 space, chain 2, and work 3 more double crochets into that corner space. This is going to be the pattern once we get to the top. Every time we get to the top in that corner space, it will always be 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. That will not change through this pattern, because that's what's helping us form the pink peak of our triangle. What we did on the other side, we will repeat on this side. So you see that space between our cluster of 3 double crochets, we're going to put 3 half double crochets in that space. So you're working in that space. What you did on one side, you're going to repeat on the other side. So we're now working 2 half double crochets in that space between our double crochet and our cluster of 3 double crochets. We're working in that space. So you count down 3 and you work in between the space between your 3rd and 4th double crochet. So the space in between your 3rd and 4th double crochet is where you're going to put 2 half double crochets and 1 double crochet. I hope you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And then of course on the top of that last double crochet, you're going to work 1 double crochet, chain up 1, cut your yarn, pull it through, because you have fastened off and getting ready to do your color change. So for this next color change, this is where things are starting to change. We are going to insert our yarn into the top of that first half double crochet. So we have our chain up of 3, we have 1 double crochet, and we have a half double crochet. That first half double crochet, which is the 3rd stitch, is where we're going to place our slip stitch. We're going to slip stitch in that spot. And then we're going to go ahead and place 2 half double crochets right into that space in between our clusters. And then we're going to go ahead, chain 1, and place 3 half double crochets into the next available space in between our clusters of the burgundy. And then chain 1 as well. And then we're going to go ahead and make our corner. And you know our corner is 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And when we do that, we're going to chain 1 and repeat what we did on that side on this side now. So now we're going to pop into our next space and we're going to work 3 half double crochets into that space between our clusters, chain 1, in our next space, as you see right there, we're going to put 2 half double crochets into that space, and we're going to slip stitch on the top of that half double crochet. Chain 1, cut your yarn, pull it through because we fasten off and we're ready to change our color. So we're taking our next available color. So we're going to count down 3. We're going to slip stitch into that second half double crochet, and in that space we're going to work 1 single crochet, chain 1, and our next available space we're going to work 3 half double crochets. To make our corners, so we're going to work into our corner stitch with 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. What we did on one side, we're going to do on the other side. So once we chain our 2 and do our remaining 3 double crochets to complete our corner, we're going to go ahead and work 3 half double crochets into our next space. Once we do 3 of our half double crochets into this space, we're going to go ahead and chain 1, and we're going to work a single crochet into our next available space, and we're going to slip stitch into that first half double crochet right there on the top of that first half double crochet, slip stitch, chain 1, cut our yarn, pull it through because we are fastening off and getting ready for our next color. So our next color, which is our last color, we will be working it into that chain up of 3 space. So yes, we're working it back into that space, starting back at the bottom. We're going to chain up 3. We're going to then work 2 double crochets into that space between our chain 3 and our half double crochet. We're going to work 2 double crochets into that space. We're now going to work 1 double crochet onto our slip stitch in our brown color. We're going to work 1 double crochet on top of that slip stitch. Once we do that 1 double crochet, the next available stitch, which is that half double crochet right next to it, we're going to work right into that one with 2 double crochets. So on the top of that half double crochet, we did 1, and we're going to go in the same spot, that same stitch, and work another double crochet. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to find our next available space, which is in the green. That spacing in the green, we're going to work 3 double crochets into that space and chain 1. So in our next available space, you know, our clustered spacing between our group of 3s, we're going to go ahead and work 3 double crochets into that space. And once we work those 3 double crochets into that space, we're going to go ahead and chain 1. And in the next 3 stitches, we're going to work 1 double crochet in each next 3 stitches. So in this stitch right here, we're going to work 1 double crochet. We're going to work another double crochet in the next following stitch, another double crochet in the next following stitch. If you notice, we're working these double crochets on the top of our 3 double crochets that make our corner. So once we do that, we're going to go ahead and work 2 double crochets in our corner space, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Do the same thing you did for one side to the other side. So now in these next 3 stitches, which make our corner, the top of our corner for our previous row, we're going to work our double crochets, 1 in each stitch. Then in that space, we're going to go ahead and work 3 double crochets and chain 1. So in our next available space, we're going to go ahead and work 3 double crochets and chain 1. Basically, we're repeating what we did on one side to the other side. So we're now going to work in that space 2 double crochets. One double crochet on the top of that slip stitch of the brown, and then count down 3 in between our 3rd and 4th double crochet. We're going to go ahead and work 2 double crochets into that space between our 3rd and 4th double crochet in the burgundy. And then on the top of that last double crochet, the 4th one, we're going to work 1 double crochet on the top of that. We're going to chain 1, cut our yarn, pull it through, and we are done with our gusset. So this is basically making a granny square triangle, but I just elongated it instead of making it wide so that it mimics half of a square. I made it long. So on each side it should be 21 stitches, and that is how I could attach it to my granny squares. Thank you, lovely, so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. If you want to see how I attached it to my granny square pins, check out the previous video, and it shows how I attached them. Until next time, lovelies, later.